Sports Network here on KWCoyotes.com. I'm Pat Strothman. We are ready for the second game of this doubleheader between KWU and St. Mary. Kansas Wesleyan already underway with a couple pitches on the mound. For Kansas Wesleyan is Allie Stockton, the junior from Cal State Bakersfield. The 0-2 pitch outside for ball one. Starting things off for St. Mary is Samantha Torres. The 1-2 pitch fouled off to the fence. We stay at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Getting colder by the minute here at Bilbrook Park. Sun now tucked away. Wind still very strong coming from the north here in Salina. The 1-2 pitch lined to short, but unable to handle it for Kansas Wesleyan is Samantha Banda. And leading off the game is Samantha Torres with a smack to the shortstop. Next for St. Mary is Haley Reese, a slapper. Pitch outside by Stockton for ball one. There's a slap laid down by Haley Reese. Goes foul. Haley Reese, the left fielder, with plenty of speed for the St. Mary Spires, who were able to get it done earlier, winning 6-5 in 8 innings. Here's another slap laid down. It's fouled off to the left. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Allie Stockton looking for her 48th strikeout of the season. Allie Stockton wasting no time. Another fouled off pitch by Haley Reese, who has been a solid at-bat so far to open for St. Mary. Runner goes on this one. It's a driller between third and short. And the St. Mary Spire offense opens up the game with back-to-back singles. Here's Alex Stockton's first pitch to the designated player, Lindsey Fishman. Ball one. Alex Stockton making her 14th start of the season. She's 4-7 with 7 complete games with 73 innings pitched. Runner takes off, and Samantha Torres from second to third. She slides in safely with a stolen bag, and out come the very aggressive St. Mary Spires, who ranked number 2 in the KCAC for steals. Haley Reese also goes to second base. Runners on first make it second and third for the St. Mary Spires, who are attacking aggressively early on in this game. And now Lindsey Fishman, she draws a walk. Bases are loaded, and Allie Stockton in some trouble in the very first inning of this game as Cassidy Harbert approaches the plate, who's had an RBI in 14 of the last 17 games. Stockton's first pitch, outside corner for strike one. Here's the 1-1, swinging and a miss from Cassidy Harbert. A 1-2 count to her at home plate. Stockton looking to battle back in this contest. There's a swing to right field, drops in for a hit. 1 run scores, and that's it as Cassidy Harbert gets an RBI single to score Samantha Torres to put the Spires ahead 1-0. First pitch to Abigail Gonzalez, fouled off down the third base line. Ellie Stockton this season, a 5.85 ERA. Last game, able to go 3 innings, allowed 5 hits, struck out 3 and walked 1 versus Sterling on March 28th. There's a shot to left, goes by the left fielder Marion. 1 run scores, 2 across, and 3. It's a bases emptying type of hit by Abigail Gonzalez as she gets a 3 RBI double to put the Spires ahead 4-0. St. Mary Spires, a team that is dead last in batting average, number 11 in runs per game, but they have been excellent here today. And here's a dribbler to the right by Maddie Barron. Runner in Gonzalez rounds third, slides home, and a 5-0 start for the St. Mary Spires. It's all St. Mary to open up this contest. 5 hits given up by Allie Stockton, as well as 5 runs given up. St. Mary Spires riding the confidence after getting a 6-5 win in 8 innings earlier today. First pitch by the righty Stockton, high and outside for ball 1. Kayla Trowbridge, the center fielder, out to home plate. Spires are now 9-23 overall. They're looking to get their 10th win here today. Stockton's second pitch in there for a called strike. Spires were threatening to maybe steal second base. As Barron, the freshman from Lee Summit West, with 3 steals. Doesn't go, but here's a sharply hit ball by Kayla Trowbridge to left. Holding up at second is Maddie Barron. And the St. Mary Spire offense exploding with 6 hits here in the top of the first inning. Spires have yet to see an out recorded here in the first inning. Stockton's pitch to Elena Renshaw. Almost a bunt. 0-1 the count. Stockton's second pitch downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the St. Mary Spires give them credit. Their team battling hard under Haley Seaman in her 3rd season. Played at North Texas, an assistant coach at Avila for a couple seasons. Now here's a pass ball, allowing the runners to advance to 3rd and 2nd. Elena Renshaw did not bat in the first game, but the senior transfer from Allen County CC, making her 30th start throughout the season. She has 18 hits and 8 RBIs. She has a chance to go to double digits with a stick. The 2-1. It's a wild pitch. Sliding in safely is Maddie Barron. Trowbridge goes over the 3rd. And it's a 6-0 lead for St. Mary. Now Shelby Graves, interim head coach at KWU. She emerges from the dugout. And she wants to have a conversation with her team inside the center circle. Coach Graves is trying to get the team to come together, to be a little sharper. Certainly a disastrous start for Kansas Wesleyan, a team trailing 6-0 to the St. Mary Spires. Spires trying to battle back to a .500 record in conference play. They are now 2-3 in the KCAC after getting a 6-5 win in 8 innings here today. 3-1 the count. Allie Stockton looking to battle, but shown by Elena Renshaw. Pitch is high and outside. And the St. Mary Spires have yet to see an out here in the top of the first inning. Madison Carr, the catcher, now to the plate. Hacks at the first one. It goes foul, out of play to the left. This Coyote squad just awfully young in many different positions. Facing some challenges for 2018. A team that lost 8 all KCAC members a season ago. And a team that's trying to combat hard in this one. Here is a bunt straight up the middle to Stockton. But Stockton's underhand throw, the tag, cannot be laid down properly. And Madison Carr able to bring home Kayla Trowbridge. And now St. Mary has runners on first and second And now a pitching change for Shelby Graves. We'll take a step aside. Pitching change. It's a 7-0 lead for St. Mary here in the top of the first inning. Allie Stockton doesn't last an inning or even record an out. Stockton allows 7 hits and a couple of ducks still on the bags for the St. Mary Spires that very well could bring up her run total. Tara Stubitz trying not to allow that, though. The freshman from Shawnee Heights playing in her 10th game with an ERA of 4.09. 7 Ks, 8 walks. Freshman up in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second for the Spires, who lead 7-0. The 0-2. Missing outside. Stubitz, a state champion for the Shawnee Heights Thunderbirds. T-Birds had a terrific year, coached by Steve Giddens. 1-2. Low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stubitz can win. Used to that. Shawnee Heights program in Topeka. Technically Tecumseh, which is on the outside edge of Topeka. They know how to win out there with the red and blue. Here's Tara Stubitz, who once led 0-2 in the count. Now stares at a full count as Samantha Torres is at the plate. The pitch, a grounder to second, and now Lauren Blue can't handle it. And the nightmare of an inning continues on for the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. The base is loaded. The lineup batting through twice already here in the first inning for St. Mary. Haley Reese at the plate as the slapper. As the base is loaded. Maybe the conditions just throwing off KWU. It's certainly icy and windy, no sun, making it very difficult for any pitcher. And now Tara Stubitz, the freshman pitcher for Kansas Wesleyan, on the verge of maybe having a 4-pitch walk to make it an 8-0 lead. Stubitz able to throw in a pitch for a called strike. At the plate is Reese, a freshman from Lee's Summit West High School in Missouri. Has had 2+ hits in 6 of the last 7 games. Fouls off a pitch to the right. Full count. Now the scenario as Stubitz looks to get a punch out in the first out of the inning. The pitch, it's a sharp liner down the third base line, and it's caught by Genestra, who then tags out the runner over at third. It's a double play for Emily Ginestra. That was a sharply hit ball by Haley Reese, but a great play by Emily to not only get the first out, but 2 outs here in the first inning. Runner still in scoring position with Madison Carr over on second. Samantha Torres on first. But now Tara Stewart can sort of relax a little bit with 2 outs on the board. We're trailing 7-0. The 2-0 from Stubitz. Inside corner for strike 1. Lindsay Fishman was able to draw a walk with their first at-bat earlier this inning. Fishman fouls off the pitch back to the backstop. Stubitz trying to battle back. Here's the 2-2. A dribbler ranging to the left is the shortstop, Banda, and she's able to record the out over at third base. Damage was done, though, by St. Mary. 7 runs on 6 hits and an error. 2 left on for the St. Mary Spires. And after one half of an inning, they go to the bottom of the first. KWU behind 7-0. Coyotes behind 7-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Doubleheader action between St. Mary and KWU. Leadoff hitter for Kansas Wesleyan is Emily Sparks, facing off with Paige Sywert, a junior transfer from Iowa Central CC, making her 11th start this season. She's pitched in doubleheaders 3 different times this season. Has been called on for relief a few times, but she throws an interesting challenge as a left-handed thrower. We'll see how KWU responds with this new pitcher. Here's Sparks. A grounder to third. Gonzalez able to scoop and fire, but not in time to Torres. Emily Sparks able to start the game with a hit in the infield. Jordan Matheny now at the plate for KWU. Sharply hit ball to right field, and a good smack by Jordan Matheny. Plenty of speed for Sparks going from first to third. Now taking off for second is Matheny. And the Kansas Wesleyan Coyote offense starting off strong with back-to-back singles on Paige Sywert. Jordan Matheny has had herself the ball game and really the day. In game one, she was able to get 2 RBI, a pair of stolen bags, 3 singles, a walk, and a run scored. Lindsey Marion, the main weapon for the Coyotes in terms of RBI. She approaches the plate. Came into the series with 23 runs batted in. Marion added to her total with a RBI triple in her first at-bat last game. Lindsey Marion did not like the length of time it was taking, so she calls for her time. Now ready to rock and roll. It's a pop-up to right, staying in the infield though, as the wind pushes it to the right of Renshaw, and the second baseman able to record the out. While Lindsey Marion had an RBI triple in the first inning last game, Taylor LaGrange was able to get an RBI single to follow her. LaGrange then had a single in the 7th inning, gave KW a chance to walk off as Justine Chavez laid down a sac bunt. LaGrange was stranded at second as Samantha Bana and Lauren Blue were unsuccessful in trying to complete the walk-off win for KWU as the Coyotes lost 6-5 in 8 innings to St. Mary. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paige Sywert on the mound from Calgary, Alberta. Opponents bat very well off her at .390. She's given up 6 home runs. Has a record of 2-9, ERA of 8.25, but if she hangs tough in this one, she can certainly improve on those numbers with a 7-run lead here in the bottom of the first inning. But runners on second and third for KWU. Coyotes trying to bounce back. The 1-2 popped up in the air. Got a play behind us. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Taylor LaGrange. Taylor has enjoyed quite the season with 15 RBI. She taps this one back to the middle. Sywert with no issues, although she did allow Torres to step off the bag. But she got it and then tagged first, and now Taylor LaGrange walks back to the dugout, grimacing a little bit. Hope she's okay. As the pitcher Sywert able to record the second out of the inning. Justine Chavez was able to pinch hit last game, then served as a defensive first baseman. First pitch, pops it up, wind pushes it far to the right, but tracking it down is a Renshaw, and the second baseman lets out a smile as she records the final out of the first inning. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left on for KWU. After 1 inning, it's 7-0 St. Mary. Kansas Wesleyan behind 7-0 as we open up the second frame. St. Mary in inning number 1 able to send all nine of its batters to the plate, and then added 3 more opportunities for the top 3 batters. Cassidy Harbert, the shortstop, able to send a pitch up the middle as Tara Stubitz gives up her first hit of the game. And Cassidy Harbert, now a perfect 2 for 2 to open the second game of this doubleheader. St. Mary won 6-5 in 8 innings earlier today. But that game was plagued with a bunch of errors. Kansas Wesleyan gave up 6 runs. All of them were unearned. Now KWU, a team that has certainly given up some runs in the first couple innings. Last season, Kansas Wesleyan was able to outscore opponents in the first 2 innings, 72-32. But this year, getting outscored 41-32. Abigail Gonzalez had a 3 RBI double. Runner goes after a swing and a miss. Sliding in safely is Cassidy Harbert on the stolen bag. Second steal of the game for St. Mary, a team that ranks number 2 in the conference for stolen bases. In terms of the NAIA ranks, the Spires are number 30. But offensively for St. Mary, this team checks in at 141 in batting average, but man, they are drilling it here in game 2. And here's a diving grab made and right by Emily Sparks. A highlight reel catch by Emily in right field for the first out of the second inning. That was a heck of a dive by Emily Sparks. Abigail Gonzalez thought she had her second hit of the game, but not so fast, says Emily Sparks. Tara Stubitz fires in a pitch to Maddie Barron for strike 1. Barron with an RBI single last inning. Runner did tag up, though, on that diving grab by Sparks, so Cassidy Harbert now stands at third for the St. Mary Spires. We see one out on the board here in the top half of the second inning. The 1-1, bunt shown, lay down the first base line. It's a squeeze, but it goes foul to the right of the chalk. St. Mary doesn't rely on power or a lot of speed, but trying to use the advantage of squeeze bunts. St. Mary did a nice job of that in the first game of the doubleheader. Swinging away this time is Maddie Barron. Barron is a freshman from Lee Summit West, her 27th game. She shows bunt to Stubitz. The 1-2, pulls back, and it dribbles in the dirt. Barron was 1 for 3 last game, and she ropes a sharply hit ball to right. And that's an RBI single for Maddie Barron. She's now 2 for 2 with 2 rubies. And the St. Mary lead balloons out to 8. Maddie Barron was a little bit lower in the lineup too last game. She was the number 8 hitter. Now she's been slid up to the 6th spot and has been rewarding her coach nicely with a couple RBI singles. Kayla Trowbridge didn't have an RBI on her hit last inning, but a single did put her on. She's up in the count 2-0 as Tara Stubitz has given up 2 hits here in the second inning. The freshman from Shawnee Heights trying to battle through these tough conditions. The 2-0, Trowbridge sees it, and now Matheny trying to force the issue at first. Overshoots Chavez. It rolls all the way to the corner. Going from first to third is Maddie Barron. And the mistake by Matheny allows Maddie Barron to go from first to third. This is what happens, though, when you get behind 8-0. You try to force some things just to try to make a play happen. As everything is going in favor of the St. Mary Spires. The 2-1. Matheny almost lets it go by her. Instead able to block it. But Stubitz battling. It's a 3-1 count to Kayla Trowbridge. And Trowbridge able to draw the walk successfully. Elena Renshaw, a gal who's not known for her hitting. She was able to draw a walk in the first frame, and she has a primetime opportunity with runners on the corners. Runner thought about going over at first in Trowbridge, which she pulls back. Might take off here before too long. As the Spires have been extremely aggressive. Bunt shown by Renshaw, pulls back, swings at the offering by Stubitz, and Tara gets the second strike called. Renshaw, the Olathe, Kansas native. Sees the 0-2, runner goes. Matheny guns it to second, and diving to get the ball as band up, but unable to reel it in and pull on the tag. So it's a stolen bag for Kayla Trowbridge, putting runners on second and third for Renshaw. The 1-2, fouled off the fence. Matheny actually catches the ball on the deflection. Too bad it doesn't count as an out for KWU. A team needing a ball to bounce its way. The 1-2. Renshaw with a Foul ball out of play to the right. St. Mary does not look like a team with 9 total wins on the year. The 1-2. Another foul. This one dribbles down the third base line. This St. Mary program has been through a lot more downs than ups. Certainly the case for this season. But yet the Spires battling tough, trying to get to 10 wins on the year. To have at least double-digit wins for the 5th consecutive season. Spires were 20-29 last year, 26-29 the year before. The 1-2 the run shot, sharply hit ball to second the blue. It's a liner out to second, and diving back safely to avoid a double play is Maddie Barron. Madison Carr was able to rope an RBI single back in the first inning. Has an opportunity to make it a 2 RBI strike with a simply hit ball here in this game, with the Spires up 8-0 at the top of the second inning. Carr on the year with 6 RBI now after getting that Ruby back in the first inning. Carr hailing from Casey Piper, batting .241 on the year. The 1-1. Gets the inside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stupitz trying to get out of the second inning by giving up just 1 run. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Slapped down the third base line. Genestra able to handle it with her chest. And she ends the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on for the St. Mary Spires. Through an inning and a half, it's St. Mary 8, Kansas Wesleyan 0. St. Mary with an 8-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. Replacing Samantha Banda is Bianca Sanchez, the 5'3" freshman from Frisco, Texas. Sanchez playing in her 6th game this season. She has 4 hits and 12 at-bats with a double, an RBI, and a run. One ball, one strike to Sanchez. Frisco, Texas. Probably a big enough town that not everyone knows everyone. But makes me wonder if she might know a gunslinger from Frisco, Texas, and Kelly Cordova, who is now helping out with the Kansas Wesleyan football coaching staff. The 1-2 pitch from Seiwert. Fouled off to the right. Bianca Sanchez did play versus Sterling last game. She was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Seiwert looking for her first K here today. The 1-2. Little upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. And Bianca Sanchez now with 4 straight at-bats with Ks. Lauren Blue, the freshman, now due up, batting 7th in this Coyote lineup. Blue had an opportunity to walk it off for KWU in the 7th inning last game. But unfortunately, wasn't able to get by the third baseman. St. Mary has had some mistakes here today. Spires definitely with mistakes all throughout the year, but they've been solid here in the nightcap of this doubleheader. Lauren Blue on the 2nd pitch, make it the 3rd. Skies it high to shallow left field, and Harbert, the shortstop, able to record the 2nd out of this inning. Emily Ginestra, the 3rd baseman, approaches home plate, ready to take on Paige Seiwert. Seiwert, the Calgary, Alberta, Canada product, looking fairly sharp. As she deals in 2 straight pitches for strikes. Seiwert's numbers are not impressive, 8.25 ERA, but boy, she is dealing with an 8-run cushion. She went with a high heat on the 0-2 offering, trying to get Ginestra to swing through. Pulling back is Ginestra. She was tempted to take that bat off that shoulder and to put a swing on the ball, but it's a good thing she didn't. Count is even at 2-2. Here's a dribbler to left, and Emily Ginestra able to get the 3rd hit of the game for KWU with 2 down in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Kylie Ross takes her turn at home plate. Slappers first Swing goes as a foul ball. Kylie Ross, sophomore from Sterling, Colorado. It's funny, not too long ago, I went back to Topeka, Kansas for the Class 5A state tournament. A guy who replaced me at 580 WIBW when I came here to Salina. His previous stop was in Sterling, Colorado. Here's a grounder to short. Harbert bobbles it. Took away the play at first, but she's able to pick it up and throw it over the second for the force out to close out the second inning. No runs, one hit, one stranded for KWU. Through two, it's all St. Mary, 8-0. Kicking off the third inning for the St. Mary Spires, who lead 8-0, is the first baseman Samantha Torres, who pitched every inning in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Normally goes both games as the main thrower for the St. Mary Spires. But Coach Haley Seaman decided not to go with that strategy here on a really cold day in Salina. Samantha Torres, a very capable hitter too. You just look at her numbers and you can just see how talented she truly is. Leads the team in many categories offensively. .368 batting average, .439 on-base percentage, 4 home runs, 35 hits, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 15 RBI. She doesn't lead in RBI or triples, but everything else, you betcha. And she draws a walk here to start the third. Stubitz on the mound for KWU, charged with her second walk of the game. Samantha Torres able to score twice, make it 3 times in Game 1 of this doubleheader. She has now scored in 22 of the last 32 games. And yes, if you're counting, St. Mary has played 32 in total. And Samantha Torres has scored here today already, so that streak even goes a little bit higher. Bunt laid down. Genestra with the quick feet, able to sling it across the field to first. And a good stretch by Chavez to get the out, although it is not Chavez playing first base here for KWU. Playing first for Kansas Wesleyan is Kayla Cruel. A few changes have been made. Let's see if any other changes have taken place for Kansas Wesleyan. Bianca Sanchez is now playing second. There's a liner to right, reeled in there from Emily Sparks. But able to score is Samantha Torres after the sack by Haley Reese. Allow Torres to go to second. Fishman with a pop-up to right field. Ends up being an RBI for Fishman. Gets her first Ruby here in this game. Now here's a pop-up, a little bloop single for Cassidy Harbert as it falls in the outfield. And she is able to get a single on the board. So 3 hits given up by Tara Stubitz, as well as a couple runs as the St. Mary lead jumps out to 9-0 in the top of the 3rd inning. Abigail Gonzalez really opened up the game with a 3 RBI double. It was a bases clearing type of play. And the Spires just continue to pound away at the KW Coyotes. Runner goes. Little soft dribbler over the third. Janestra with ease picks it up. Slings it over to third. Make it over the first, and that does it for the top of the 3rd inning. 1 run, 1 hit. 1 stranded for St. Mary. Spires have scored 9 runs in the first 3. As it goes to the bottom of the 3rd, St. Mary leading 9-0. This is Coyote Softball on the Coyote Sports Network. Nothing in favor of the St. Mary Spires here in the nightcap of the doubleheader. St. Mary won the first game 6-5 in 8 innings. Emily Sparks, Jordan Matheny, and Lindsay Merriam all due up for the Coyotes here in the 3rd inning, taking on Paige Sywert of the Spires. Despite having an 8.25 ERA, able to quiet the bats of KW so far. Sparks slaps a slow roller to Renshaw, but she played in and played it perfectly. Make that Torres, and she was able to pick it up and throw it over the first for the first out. So Torres is playing second now. Over at first, well, my apologies, they actually switched it up. They put Torres in the second base role, and they had Renshaw being the first baseman, but Renshaw is still technically the second baseman, and Torres the first. They just did a little shift. So Haley Seaman continues to throw in a wrinkle into the Coyote offensive attack, which has been held to 3 hits through 2 1/3. Jordan Matheny, though, able to get 1 of the 3 hits. She was a perfect 3 for 3 in game 1. She's 1 for 1 in this game, so she's 4 for 4 with a walk and a couple RBI as well. But now she's out for the first time for the day as she pops it in the infield, and Harbert collects the out. Lindsay Marion now stays in the box. She popped up to second base in the first inning after back-to-back singles by KWU, one by Sparks and one by Matheny. Marion did have an RBI triple in game one, and she ropes a liner to short, but Harbert lays out, goes Superman to end the inning. What a defensive play by Harbert. She ends the inning by a couple putouts by herself. And through 3, we go to the 4th. Looking at a 9-0 lead for St. Mary. St. Mary kicking off the top of the 4th inning with a liner to straight center field. Maddie Barron, who has a couple RBI in this game. She goes straightaway center for the first out of the 4th. Due up is Kayla Trowbridge and Elena Renshaw. As the St. Mary Spire offense continues to put some good swings out on the ball. Tara Stubitz on the mound for Kansas Wesleyan. Here's a scooper by the third baseman, Janestra. And 2 down quickly here in the top of the 4th inning.
Second baseman, Elena Renshaw.
Elena Renshaw, the number 8 hitter, swings at the first pitch. Skyrocket to right. Sparks underneath it. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for KWU. Tara Stubitz needed that one. She settled down, giving up just 3 hits and 2 runs in 4 innings of work. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Coyotes down 9-0 to St. Mary. Taylor LaGrange to the plate to start the bottom of the fourth inning. Kansas Wesleyan held in check offensively to just 3 hits by Paige Seiwert. The Iowa Central Community College transfer to the St. Mary program has done nicely here today in her 11th start of the season. Seiwert has recorded just 1 strikeout here today, but her defense has been great behind her. There's a fly ball to center. Underneath it is Trowbridge, and 1 away in the bottom of the fourth inning.
The first baseman, number 18, Kayla Cruel.
So Justine Chavez, who started the game at first, now replaced by Kayla Cruel. Kayla to the plate. And she decides to hack at the first one. And the junior, looking for her 16th hit, unable to get that one to fall through as she lines out to center field, and 3 pitches and 2 are down for Kansas Wesleyan. Bianca Sanchez returning to the plate. And she ropes a liner down the third base line, which falls in. She rounds first, looking for 2, and then she retreats back to first base. But Bianca Sanchez able to get out of a 4 strikeout skid. She had 4 straight at-bats, ending with Ks. But she's finally able to get a hit to fall through. Another substitution for KWU. This one is Jasmine Carlos. She steps in the spot of Lauren Blue. Jasmine, also a freshman from Houston, Texas, playing in her 12th game this season. She's batted 21 times, recorded 7 hits. Her last game was versus Sterling. She was 0 for 1. She hasn't had a multiple at-bat game since March the 2nd.
Sixth inning, number 23, Jasmine Carlos.
But maybe Jasmine Carlos can get 2 at-bats, but if that's the case, in order for that to happen, Kansas Wesleyan is going to have to come up with some offense with the runner on first. Carlos hacks at the first one behind Seiwert's pitch for strike 1. 2 down in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 9-0 in favor of St. Mary. Seiwert patient. Second delivery. Little off the mark. This weather has certainly not been ideal for either team here in this doubleheader. Here's a skyrocket staying in field, goes right back to the circle, and Seiwert calls it out as the pitcher, able to get the final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 stranded for KWU. To the 5th we go. St. Mary leading 9-0. Couple of switches for both teams as St. Mary starts the top of the fifth inning with a 9-0 advantage. Kansas Wesleyan moving Lauren Blue to shortstop. And here's a dribbler by Alyssa Cervantes. She was the pinch hitter for Madison Carr, the number 9 hitter. And it's a quick one pitch out for Tara Stubitz. Lineup card flips over. Samantha Torres to the plate. Gets jammed up as the pop-up goes down the left field line. It does go foul. St. Mary claimed the first game 6-5 in 8 innings. Spire offense has been terrific here in the second game. Spire scores 7 runs off 6 hits and an error in the very first frame of this contest. But St. Mary certainly looked like a team destined to get to double digits on the season. St. Mary came in with an 8-23 record, 3-11 on the road. Spires are about to be 3-3 in the conference, 5-11 away, and 10-23 overall if they complete this game. Here's a dribbler at the short. Blue able to scoop it, but the fire over to first. It's a little too high for Krull at first base. Samantha Torres reaches first after the error by Lauren Blue. 2 errors by Kansas Wesleyan make it 3 here in this game. Coyotes had a plethora of miscues in game number 1 of the doubleheader. All 6 runs scored by St. Mary in that extra inning win were unearned. Defensively, things just maybe weren't there for Kansas Wesleyan, although Emily Sparks was able to flash out the glove with a superstar dive in right field. Runner goes on the 0-2 pitch. It's a blooper down the left field line, but it's foul by Haley Reese. She marches back as the slapper. Haley Reese with a sack, a liner, and a single. She's ready for the 0-2. Runner doesn't go this time. Reese fouls off the pitch, right back to the fence. Couple gals to my left, all jumped, and rightfully so. Reese stares at the 0-2 offering by Stubitz. It's downstairs for ball 1. Well, Kansas Wesleyan certainly has some time to get things together as the Coyotes turn the calendar month and open things up in April with a couple doubleheaders on the road. Haley Reese does indeed get on board after a little pop-up to left field. Drops in for a hit. St. Mary with 10 total. Make it 11 total. Lindsay Fishman trying to add to it. Runners don't go. Grounder the third. Genestra able to get the put out at third, but the throw not in time as Fishman beats it out on the fielder's choice, but Torres is out at third for the second one of the top of the fifth inning. Risto on second, Fishman on first. St. Mary with two down in the top of the fifth inning. It's a 9-0 lead for St. Mary. Here's a little tiny dribbler down the third base line, and Genestra able to pick it up and able to tag out third to close out the inning. No runs for St. Mary. One hit, two errors by Kansas Wesleyan, and two left on for the St. Mary Spires. Coyotes down 9-0 going to the bottom of the fifth inning. If they played a run, that would be nice, but they have to get two to continue this game. Kansas Wesleyan could be down to its final 3 outs of this game. Coyotes trailing 9-0 in the bottom of the fifth inning. The rule is 8 after 5. So if the Coyotes score 2 runs here in the fifth, they continue on in this doubleheader. If they don't, then the Coyotes get swept by St. Mary. Emily Genestra due up first, facing a new pitcher, and Caitlin Scheifen. Scheifen, a junior transfer from Southwestern Community College, hailing from Overland Park, Kansas. This is her 13th game played. Her last game was on March 18th. She gives up a liner to center field, and Genestra pops up to center for the first out of the fifth inning.
Designated player, Kylie Rock.
Scheifen is 0-3, has pitched in 15 2/3. A high ERA of 15.19, 4 strikeouts and 23 walks. But Scheifen trying to get accustomed to the new system at St. Mary, coached by Haley Seaman. One the count. Kylie Ross able to tap it foul. Kansas Wesleyan held to just 4 hits in this game. The big thing is Kansas Wesleyan with a few errors, and certainly the 7 spot given up in the first inning. Cruel with a, not Cruel, make it Kylie Ross a little foul ball to the right. Goes out of play eventually. But St. Mary, give credit to the St. Mary defense, Spires with no errors here in this game. And some very impressive dives and maybe some bobbles, but they have been fairly controlled. The 1-2, a swing and a miss from Kylie Ross. And Shifen gets a huge roar from the St. Mary dugout, as well as the few fans who made the trip from Leavenworth. Coyotes down to the final out of the game as Emily Sparks approaches home plate. As tries to maybe lay down a bunt, but it goes foul for strike one. 9-0 lead for St. Mary here in the bottom of the fifth inning. The run rule is 8 after 5. Sparks with a swing and a miss. And here could be the final pitch of the day. Sparks is ready. Check swing. She swings through it. And that does it. St. Mary makes the long trip from Leavenworth to get the double-header sweep over the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. St. Mary plates 7 runs in the very first inning. Scored 1 more in the second and third frames, as Allie Stockton gave up 7 hits in the very first frame, 7 runs, and walked 1. Tara Stubitz came in and allowed 4 hits and 2 runs with 2 walks, but yet she pitched all 5 innings versus the St. Mary Spires. Offensively for KWU, Coyotes can find a way to get after Paige Sywert, who goes 4 innings, allows 4 hits, strikes out 1 to get the win. Jordan Matheny able to go 1 for 2. She ends the doubleheader day with 4 total hits. Bianca Sanchez got a single. Emily Ginestra with a single. And Emily Sparks with a single as well. But Kansas Wesleyan gets swept by the St. Mary Spires. Spires go to 10-23 overall, 3-3 in the conference, 5-11 on the road. KWU falls to 13-17 overall, 3-5 in the conference, and 9-5 here in Salina. Coyotes lose game 1, 6-5 in 8 innings, and falter in game 2, losing 9-0. Coyotes go to April. And the Coyotes start the new month with a trip down to Southwestern, then a matchup versus Bethel in North Newton. But on April 10th, KW Softball takes on Ottawa. Coverage beginning at 4 o'clock here on the Coyote Sports Network. Thanks for listening to the Coyote Sports Network here on KWCoyotes.com.